Hello, my name is Mr. E. It is very interesting for me listening to people here in the 21st century who like to categorize society based on how free it is. And they would use the word democracy like it is some type of undeniable proof of their freedom, especially when compared to countries that don't have democracy. People seem to put so much faith in their brand of democracy, known as liberal democracies, that it blinds them to how it actually works. You could compare it to religion almost. People here truly believe modern democracy is the only and best way to organize a society, and anyone living under it are the most free. But I'm struggling to find evidence of the claim that democracy equals freedom.
My name is Mystery. For reasons unknown, I have been thrown back into the past almost 100 years, and this is my story.
Democracy, in the original ancient Greek sense, is the use of majority rules in decision making and political matters. Ancient Greece, it was not free by 21st century standards and did not have parliaments and republics. As far as I can tell, only male citizens had the right to vote or be involved in the democratic process in ancient Greece. So, why then, I want to know, is freedom associated with democracy here in the 21st century? Why do people treasure the two together so much? It really fascinates me. So, first, I needed to understand freedom a bit more. It would appear that a lot of human written history is the tale of struggle between one society trying to control and rule another. So, at the macro level, there is this idea of national freedom, freedom for a country or an ethnic group. Hence, why we have many independent nations in the world today. Then there is political freedom, the right to vote, participate in political processes, and consent to be governed. At the most fine grained level, there is individual freedom. The idea that you can do what you want, you can think what you want, and express what you want as long as it does not hinder another's freedom. The thing that ties these types of freedom together seems to be politics, not democracy. From international politics to local politics, it's what decides freedom. It sets the rules and the limits to daily life. So, how does politics work to create this three layered form of freedom? In this time, democracies, again referred to as liberal democracies or Western democracies, are structured around parliaments and republics. As far as I can tell, these things are fancy terms for systems of political representation. Political representation allows the majority of a population to be represented politically. I say majority because it's only really applies to adult citizens, not children or migrants. So, if you're an eligible member, you can vote to elect a local representative. And then, whether you voted for them or not, they are your voice when it comes to decision making. A simple enough concept, but not directly democratic. As an outside observer, it appears then that only a handful of people are making the decisions for the whole society. But how do those people get to be elected representatives and get to run for elections in the first place? Ask yourself, have you ever known your elected officials personally? Do you know their policies? Have they ever directly fought for matters that interest or concern you? Comment below and tell me your answers. For most people I talk to in this time, the answer is usually no. I have come to understand that this system of representation is not very representative at all. Elected officials are picked from within existing political parties, usually, rarely by communities. So, where did representative politics come from? In the age of revolution, liberalisation went hand in hand with overthrowing the rule of kings, as we've discussed in previous videos. But you don't just become a democratic utopia when you kick your king out. No, sadly, people are used to systems of rule. We can't really exist without them, apparently. So in steps parliamentarianism and republicanism, the political tool of the middle class. Collections of middle class representatives took over the world on the backs of elected forms of government. True to the ancient Greek style of democracy, this system was designed for privileged males with property, representing interests of property holders in the name of free markets. This is what evolved into the precious democratic republics and parliamentary democracies of today. Not free in the sense of free people, but the freedom that allows you to have property and use that to move like a free person through society, unrestricted by churches, kings, and borders. It appears to me that it is property and money in a middle class society that gives one freedom, not democracy. And so, to cut a very long story short, every few years you get to choose, and I use that term very loosely, those who will make decisions on your behalf, the elected representatives. And so I ask, how does this style of democracy equate to freedom? Honestly, it seems to me that politicians and the people that help make their political careers, they set the rules which govern your life, not the free people in a society. It seems to me that freedom has nothing to do with democracy at all, except the word freedom helps sell the idea of representative democracy to people. Freedom is part of a sexy catchphrase that keeps representative government going. The important question is, though, why? And who benefits from it? Think about that. Now, if you like this video, please share it and give it a like. Until next time, remember, I am, you are, we are a mystery.